Hello and good evening, everybody. Welcome to Bill Gray Legion Stadium at Champion Car Wash Field in beautiful Roseburg, Oregon. Tonight we get ready to bring you Doc Stewart's baseball back in Area 4 league play. The Docs getting ready to host the Eugene Challengers for their second league matchup of the season, wrapping up their home 2 games that they'll get here at Champion Car Wash Field before they make a return trip up to Sweet Johnson Stadium in Eugene to finish out the 4-game season series later this year. Welcome you into the broadcast, everybody. This is your Roseburg Disposal pregame show. You can let them make the run of the dump for you. Give them a call at 673-7122. The Doc Stewart's looking to end a little bit of a skid here. They've lost back-to-back games, losing against Eugene back on Monday, and then losing at Medford in their first road game of the year yesterday. Doc Stewart's have only mustered a little bit of offense over those 2 games. They're looking to try and pick things up as they get ready to take on the Challengers, who shut the Docs out 6-0 back on Monday. As we get ready for the matchup, we're going to get a chance to catch up with Doc Stewart's head coach, Eric Savage, here in just a few moments as we make our way towards first pitch of this ball game. And we want to remind everybody that today's game is streaming live with video online at 541radio.com and on our YouTube channel. Search 1490 The Score on YouTube, and you can hit the subscribe button and find Doc Stewart's baseball all throughout the rest of this summer season. Docs, Challengers, they're getting ready to go in another Area 4 league matchup. The first-place team and last-place team, they're the only teams that have played in league play so far this season, so that's kind of the way it goes. Game 2 of the 4-game series coming up here tonight on The Score. We'll be back after this 2-minute timeout on 541radio.com and on The Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Hey there, sports fans. Thanks for watching this local sporting event online at 541radio.com. Did you know there's more than one way to watch games online? You can watch games on your laptop or desktop computer, your tablet, or even your smartphone just by going to 541radio.com. But we also use YouTube to stream all of our video broadcasts, which means you could be watching this game on your big screen TV with a number of different streaming devices. You can stream our live YouTube broadcast through your PlayStation or Xbox gaming device, or through streaming devices like Google Chromecast, Apple TV, or Roku. There's plenty of ways to follow this live local sporting event. Plus, you can find past events archived on 1490 The Score's YouTube channel. Find us on YouTube and subscribe today to keep up with the latest in local sports coverage.
For over 100 years, Douglas County Farmers Co-op has been serving the needs of farmers, ranchers, and homeowners throughout Southern Oregon. Here, everyone is welcome. When you shop with us, you can expect good people, good products, and good advice. No membership needed. Just bring yourself, and we'll provide the expertise and products you need to tackle your next project. Douglas County Farmers Co-op, where everyone is welcome to shop.
When the first Cascade branch opened in 1948, things were a lot different here. The fact they're still here says a lot about the way they do business.
Staying in business for 75 years requires the cooperation of generations. It's the desire to learn and grow with your community.
My account number is only 5 digits long. What that tells me is that this is a local credit union.
Cascade Community Credit Union would like to thank you for 75 years of growth and support here in Douglas County.
Back here with more of our Roseburg Disposal pregame show. You can let them make the run of the dump for you. Give them a call at 673-7122. Doc's back here at home, kicking off a long home stretch of the season for the Stewies as they get ready to take on the Eugene Challengers for a league matchup here tonight. And Coach Eric Savage joining us here in the pregame. Coach, I know the team is kind of trying to find its footing here, and we were just talking that it's still early, it's still a long way to go on this season. It'll get over in a hurry, but right now you guys got a lot in front of you. What's kind of been the discussions you've been having with the team? I know you guys met for a while after last night's game, and you've got a chance to get together early today. What's been kind of the discussions you've been having with these guys as you try to get them focused and try to get them going and rolling here this summer?
Yeah, it's an interesting dynamic when we're, as a whole. You look at our crew, we're 6A school, a couple 3A schools, and some 2A, 1A schools, and Number one, we got to find a way to mesh and gel and figure out how to, groove as a whole unit, and that's something that we're struggling with. The other piece is trying to find ways to get them bought into what a dock steward is, and that's something that's not going to happen overnight, and certainly not going to happen in the first 2 weeks of our season. And we have a really good group of kids, and so being a young coach, I got to find it within me to not be emotional or frustrated early on, and find ways to explain and get them in the right direction. So just having simple conversations, talking about going through adversity and how we should respond to that, and how we can help each other through adversity, essentially, and then doing what we can do it, get the job done. So.
You guys, not to overlook what's tonight, because I know it's big. You want to try and at least get one at home against a league opponent. But you've got the tournament coming up, which means a lot of days straight of being here at the ballpark, being around each other, getting to play a lot of baseball, and really kind of starting to kick off this summer with this Father's Day tournament. Yeah. You look forward to that, to be kind of an opportunity for this team to really kind of start that gelling process?
Absolutely. We get everybody out of school finally. We get everybody here at the park. We're now... This is our job for the summer, and what a great way to start off the season once we're all here together with our own tournament. We always use this as a catalyst in the past, growing up, and then watching teams throughout the years. This was always a catalyst for a number of dock teams finding their groove and starting on a roll, and that's our hope with our tournament this year. We got some teams from our area coming up, and then we got some teams from the league right above us coming down, and we're gonna have to play some quality opponents, but I think it's gonna help us. It'll be good for us.
Tonight you guys take on Eugene, and obviously we saw him just a couple of days ago. Kind of a little bit different this year with the 2 singles here at home, but it means you kind of get to break it up, maybe evaluate a little bit what you saw from him in the first game you saw this season. How do you kind of use the information you got back on Monday about this Challengers team to try and maybe put it to your advantage, or at least maybe kind of get this one competitive for you here tonight? Yeah,
well, number one, we got to compete. Number two, it's a Kenny Niles coach club. They do the little things well, and they'll sneak in some things that you don't often see. He's aggressive, and he's a bright guy, and they do a good job of following his system, and we just can't be asleep. We can't take any play for granted. Every pitch we got to be on point, and if we do that, then we'll be fine. I'll be very happy with us if we just come out and compete our tails off, and whatever the conclusion, whatever the scoreboard says, it is what it is. After our last 2 ball games, we really need to come out and just be focused and compete our tails off, and I'll be super happy with that, especially going into the tournament. So.
All right, Coach, wish you guys the best of luck out there today, and thanks so much for the time in the pregame.
Thank you, Joey.
Head coach Eric Savage joining us here during the Roseburg Disposal pregame show. We're going to have a look at your starting lineups here in just a moment as they announce the teams down on the field. We're going to have our national anthem, the Legion Code of Conduct, coming up here in just a moment. Doc Stewart's coming in at 2-3 on the season. Still very early, just game number 6 on the year. On the other side, the Challengers have played 10 games, or this will be their 10th game. They are 8-1. They are 1-0 in league play. For the Challengers, they're coming off of a split against the Mid-Valley Southpaws in a game back yesterday in Eugene. They went 1-1, winning in a walk-off in game 1. In game 2, they lose 9-4 for their first loss of the season. So the Challengers, they've lost 1 game coming into this one. They've their streak is at 1 loss. They're looking to end that. Doc's looking to end a 2-game skid. Their last game down in Medford yesterday, the Doc Stewarts in that matchup losing 6-2. It was not a bad pitch game by Tristan Ledbetter yesterday, but unfortunately a couple of plays just didn't go their way, and they just didn't have the offense to keep up. And unfortunately, when you look at the final lines, walks, strikeouts, hits, they were fairly similar between the two teams. But there were a couple of errors for the Doc Stewarts, wild pitch, pass ball, some of those kind of things. The double plays that the Docs hit into just didn't quite work out for them yesterday. So they'll look to try and turn things over here today as they take on the Eugene Challengers. Head coach Kenny Niles in his 3rd year. We'll get a look at his starting lineup when we come back after this final 2-minute timeout. And on the other side, head coach Eric Savage in his 2nd season. We'll get a chance to see what he's put together for for a starting lineup as well. Cooper's Pest Control starting lineups are right around the corner. When you're looking for the best defense, call Cooper's Pest Control to protect your home from those summer bugs. Cooper's Pest Control, your locally owned bug assassins. Call them at 673-0363. We'll go ahead and take that final 2-minute timeout. We come back with the start of our ball game here on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Brook Communications radio stations have joined forces with the News Review and Lotus Web Services, announcing the Lotus Media Group, a multimedia enterprise. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen with Lotus Media Group, LLC.com.
This broadcast of Roseburg Dr. Stewart's American Legion Baseball is brought to you locally by Barnes Heating and Cooling, Cascade Community Credit Union, DC Farmers Co-op, Dr. Alanson Randall, Travel Leaders Flyaway Travel. Tune in throughout the summer for Dr. Stewart's American Legion Baseball on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck, yes, that'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Oregon, because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Just about time to get this one started. The sun is starting to set here in the Umpqua Basin. Some clouds must be rolling in. Doesn't normally start getting too dark this early, but it is starting to seem a little bit darker out there. The lights will be kicking on here soon enough at Bill Gray Allegiant Stadium at Champion Car Wash Field. Before we introduce the starting lineups for tonight, let's go ahead and pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is Roseburg Doc Stewart's Baseball here on the Score. Your starting lineup for the visiting Eugene Challengers. Head coach Kenny Niles puts together a starting nine that has Easton McDonald, the second baseman, leading off. Brock Johnson, the shortstop, will bat second. In center field is Peyton Tyner batting third. First baseman Eli Christ will bat cleanup. Grady Saunders in left field batting fifth. Aiden Hazen, the DH, will bat sixth. Hitting seventh and starting at catcher Caden Gould. In the eighth position is the third baseman Jalen Riddle. And Kyle Miller is the right fielder, rounding out the starting nine. DH being utilized for starting pitcher Caden Richardson. That is a look at your starting lineup for the Challengers, brought to you by Cooper's Pest Control. Taking a look at the defense for the Roseburg Dr. Stewarts. Out on the mound is going to be Jake Johnson, the right-hander from Roseburg High School, going to be a senior in the class of 2024. He'll toe the rubber for the Docs. He will throw into Ty Hellenthal back behind the plate, the battery mate for the Doc Stewarts. On the around the diamond out at first base, Cal Robbins. At second base is Evan Martin. On the left side of the infield, you've got Logan Anderson at third, and you've got Brooks Avery at short. In the outfield from left to right, that is Dane St. Clair in left, Cole Collins in center, and Brevin Harrison in right field. That's a look at your starting nine for the Doc Stewarts as we get ready for first pitch here in the ball game. Jake Johnson ended up getting the win against the Mid-Valley Southpaws back in the season opener, so he comes into the matchup 1-0 on the year. in that he pitched 2 2/3 innings, no runs allowed, 1 hit, 1 strikeout in that quick performance in the season opener. First pitch is outside for ball 1 against the lefty Easton McDonald, and we're underway here in today's ball game. Great to have you with us, everybody. Thanks for tuning in for Docs Baseball here on The Score. 1-0 delivery is elevated. Live video coverage of today's ball game can be found at 541radio.com and on our YouTube channel. Search 1490 The Score, the live video stream brought to you by the Cow Creek Tribe. 2-0 pitch in for a called strike. If you're watching on our YouTube channel or if you're watching at 541radio.com, we encourage you to go hit subscribe on the YouTube channel. Then you can follow Docs Baseball throughout the summer. The 2-1 pitch is off the hands over the third baseman. Logan Anderson makes the grab in foul territory, and over-the-shoulder catch, and he's recorded the first out here in the ball game. That'll retire Easton McDonald. He got jammed, and the lefty pops it up in foul territory where Logan Anderson's able to run underneath it for the out. Boy, that was some concentration up over the top of his head. Had to watch that one from straight over the top of him, and was able to catch that into the glove. A bunt attempt goes back to the mound, throw to first base by Jake Johnson in time to get Brock Johnson. Brock tried to lay down a bunt and catch the defense off guard, but it goes right back to the mound, and Jake fields and makes an easy toss over to first base to get him. And here comes Coach Kenny Niles for a brief conference here. Not sure what this conversation's about. Throw down to first base was in time, it seemed like. The ball made its way towards the mound. I'm not sure if there was some contact somewhere, possible interference in there somewhere. Kenny Niles makes his case, gets his moment with the official, and now heads back down to the third base coach's box with 2 down. It'll bring up the lefty, Peyton Tyner, who starts in center field. With 2 down, he takes high and away for ball 1 from Johnson. Didn't catch exactly what might have been the complaint from the visiting squad. 1-0 delivery. The righty Johnson missing high and away again. I believe our crew might be from out of the area, getting some guys coming down out of the Portland area, it sounds like, possibly, making their way down here to help out with the upcoming Father's Day tournament here at Champion Car Wash Field. So they're bringing in some officials to help fill out the roster. Inside corner, called strike 1 to Tyner. So I don't recognize the gentleman out there calling balls and strikes and out at first base for us here tonight. 2-1 pitch. Line drive back up the middle. Ducking out of the way is Jake Johnson, as that ball will make it all the way to Cole Collins in center field. The Peyton Tyner, a 2-out single for the first hit of the game for the Challengers. That'll put a man at first. 1 on, 2 out, and it'll go to the cleanup hitter, Eli Christ. In the first game between these two teams back on Monday, Peyton Tyner in that one was 0 for 3, so he gets his first hit against the Docs this summer. He's at first base with a decent lead over there. Holding him on is Cal Robbins. Hitting the outside corner for a strike. Jake will get ahead of Christ, 0-1. Doc Stewart's, they've not necessarily gotten bad pitching as they pick off throw to first, not in time. They've gotten some decent pitching, but defense hasn't been perfect behind them. And unfortunately, the hitting just hasn't quite been there. They managed just 2 hits against the Challengers the first go-round. So looking to improve there as the runner going, swing and a miss, throw down to second base. Got him! What a tag at second by Evan Martin. He came sailing into the play out of nowhere and applies the tag as sliding in goes Peyton Tyner. He might have gotten hit on the helmet as he was going into the bag, and Tyner throws up his hands like, I'm not sure exactly how that play got called that way, but that's the way the inning comes to an end. A caught stealing on the throw by Ty Hellenthal to Evan Martin, who's playing at second base tonight. First time he's been there this summer, and the Doc Stewarts will keep the challengers off the board. Bottom of the first, we'll take a look at the Docs batting lineup when we come back here on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM at 1490 AM.
My wife and I moved to Oregon to raise a family, set our roots, and to have a lot of fun outdoors. We quickly realized that we needed a truck or a rig for the projects that we were doing in our backyard. When we were looking to find a place to finance our truck, we asked our patients, and everyone recommended Cascade Community Credit Union. It was so easy to work with Cascade. Everything was done via email, phone, and we didn't even need to go in. I can't wait to finish up the projects in the backyard, go on more adventures in our truck with our boys, and I look forward to working with Cascade again in the future.
Brook Communications radio stations have joined forces with a new
Bottom of the first inning, we take a look at your starting lineup for the Roseburg Dr. Stewarts here tonight as they get ready to take on the challengers. Cole Collins, the center fielder, leads things off, followed by Dane St. Clair, the left fielder. Shortstop Brooks Avery batting third. Cal Robbins at first base batting cleanup. Daniel Withers, the DH, batting fifth. Evan Martin, the second baseman, will bat in the sixth spot. Right field, Brevin Harrison will get the start. And then you've got Ty Hellenthal, the catcher, hitting eighth. Logan Anderson, the third baseman, will bat in the 9 position for the Doc Stewarts. DH being utilized for starting pitcher, Jake Johnson. Cole Collins leads things off. The center fielder will face off against Caden Richardson. Works low and outside for ball one, and we're underway here in the bottom of the first. Scoreless ball game so far. Caden Richardson, 1-0 pitch, swung on and missed. Richardson was 0 for 4 as a hitter against the Doc Stewarts back on Monday. Facing them here today on the mound. Bounces one in front of home, a 2-1 count. Caden Richardson out of Pleasant Hill High School, home of the Billies, alma mater of the legendary Dan Bain. Ball belted in the air out towards left field. Well struck down the line into foul territory. That ball will go over the fence, but foul as Cole Collins got around on an inside pitch and yanked that one out of the ballpark. That was fouled by maybe 6 to 10 feet at most. As Collins got around on that one, I haven't seen a home run hit here in a long time. Speaking of the legendary Dan Bain, there he is right there along with his lovely wife Jane. Starting pitchers from Pleasant Hill, so I thought Dan should know that. He'll like that fact. 2-2 pitch above the head for Collins. Count will go full. Caden Richardson, class of 2024, first-team All-State pitcher. He's headed to Lane Community College coming up next year. 3-2 pitch, ball four. So after the long strike that cleared the left field fence for Cole Collins, Caden Richardson couldn't find the strike zone. He issues a walk to start off the ball game for the Doc Stewarts. Walks by opposing pitchers are brought to you by Umpqua Valley Fire Services. Things can get out of control quickly. That's why they provide unmatched fire safety and services with fire extinguisher and fire sprinkler services and much more. Umpqua Valley Fire Services works to keep their clients and their neighbors safe. Visit uvfs.net to make sure that you're prepared when things get out of control. Outside on the first pitch to Dane St. Clair, the lefty at the plate. Starting in left field tonight for St. Clair, who also throws left-handed. The 1-0, he squares to bunt, pops that one foul all the way to the Doc Stewarts dugout. Actually, one hopped off the turf and into the Doc's dugout down that third base side. Doc Stewarts, for the first time this season, wearing a different color than the blue tops and the gray trousers. They're mixing it up, needing to break out of this funk. 1-1 pitch, again squaring to bunt. Outside, St. Clair takes a 2-1 count. Wearing the black tops, the cream trousers with the blue stirrup socks showing. The black stripe down the side. Blue and orange trim around the sleeves. Numbers on the back in blue, outlined in orange for the Doc Stewarts. Another bunt attempt by St. Clair goes foul. 2-2 count. wearing the road reds today. Red tops, gray trousers for the challengers. Different look than the blues they were wearing back on Monday. Runner at first base is Cole Collins. Nobody out. 2-2 pitch. St. Clair chops this one towards short. Not very hard hit. The only play to first base. The throw by Brock Johnson right on target. So he was wanting to sacrifice the runner up. He won't get credit for a sac bunt, but he will move Cole Collins into scoring position.
Number 5, Brooks Avery.
Unfortunately, will affect the batting average for St. Clair, but he accomplishes the job that he was looking to do, which is put Cole Collins, after a leadoff walk, out to second base. Brooks Avery, the shortstop, will bat with one out and a man at second. Scoreless ball game so far between the Docs and Eugene. Caden Richardson toes the third base side of the rubber, fires a breaking ball in for a strike. On Wednesday, last night down in Medford, Brooks Avery had a double, tried to stretch it into a triple, got thrown out at third. That was the final out of the ball game. He squares to bunt, foul tips it into the glove for strike 2. Credit Avery for wanting to try and get the Docs some energy. They were trailing that entire game, got one run across in the in the seventh on his double, but he was a little bit shy of getting to third base in time. He belts this one in the air to left field. Playable out there for Grady Saunders. He'll make the catch. His throw in well off line. Unfortunately, unable to tag in advance. Cole Collins has to stay at second. 2 down. Well, the Docs so far have been able to get around on Caden Richardson. A couple of fly balls to one by Cole Collins gets over the fence, but foul. And then that one by Brooks Avery, fairly deep to left field, but very playable for Saunders. 2 away, it'll be Cal Robbins, the first baseman, looking to try and get something started. First pitch, Cal goes up the middle, base hit into center field. Collins rounding third, heading to the plate. The throw by Tyner offline. Docs take a 1-0 lead. Throw to second base, gets into center. Cal will take a look, but Robbins will stay at second as he gets an RBI single and puts the Docs in front 1-0. Docs will have their first hit of the ball game. Cal Robbins, the youngster, he's had a strong start to the season, and he comes up with yet another RBI in the cleanup spot. Collins easily scoring from second, the throw off line, and he was ahead of it anyways. He comes in to make it 1-0 Docs here in the bottom of the first. Dan Withers will stand in. The younger of the Dan Withers, you may know. Boone at the plate with a man in scoring position again. He swings around on the inside pitch for strike 1, fouls it away. Well, that RBI opportunity is brought to you by Neal Company Real Estate. Cal Robbins driving home Cole Collins. If you're wishing that your drive home was taking you to a house with more rooms, a bigger yard, a walk-in closet, or a shop, check out Neal Company Real Estate at nealco.com to find available listings in Douglas County. High pitch inside. Beans Withers on the front arm. The DH will get on base. Runners at first and second with that hit batter.
Evan Martin.
And so Richardson, a little bit of a struggle here in the first. He'll face Evan Martin, the 6th hitter in the lineup. Runners at first and second with 2 down. Cal Robbins out at second base. First pitch swinging for Martin. A sharp ground ball to short. Johnson handles it, and Brock will throw to Easton McDonald at second base for the out. So Martin, a fielder's choice to finish off things here in the first. Docs looked like they were mounting some sort of rally there, but they only get one out of it, unfortunately. Would have liked to have seen one more hit in that one. Could have really started to break this one open. But they get a run across on one hit by Cal Robbins. No errors for Eugene, and 2 runners left on base. 1-0 Docs in front after the first inning here on 541radio.com and on the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
At Douglas County Farmers Co-op, we want your four-legged friends to be healthy and happy. That's why we stock a carefully curated selection of pet, equine, and livestock supplies. From the premium foods your pets crave to grooming and show supplies that help you shine in the show ring, you'll find it at Douglas County Farmers Co-op. Our knowledgeable staff are here to help with those tough pet and livestock care questions. Stop by or shop at DouglasCountyFarmersCoop.com.
It's time to get your game on with Mountain Mike's oven-roasted chicken wings. They're meaty, juicy, in 4 bold sauces ready to tempt your taste buds. And they're hand-sauced and tossed for every order. It's game on with Mountain Mike's Pizza oven-roasted chicken wings. Get your wings today. Order online or on our app for carryout or delivery.
Top of the second inning, today's ball game is sponsored by Cascade Community Credit Union, belong to Douglas County. Well, if you want to make sure you keep up to date with everything going on for Roseburg Dr. Stewart's American Legion Baseball, you want to make sure you head to 541radio.com to find scores, schedule, standings, and more at Doc Central. It's on the score homepage there at 541radio.com, and it's sponsored by Champion Car Wash. Eli Christ will be back up to bat. He had 2 strikes against him when the inning came to an end with a runner caught stealing. So he'll get a fresh count and a new look at Jake Johnson. First pitch comes in high for ball 1. Johnson, the right-hander, working with a lead now. Gets a ball fouled up in the air, right side, carrying out of play into the bleachers, back behind the visiting dugout on the first base side here at Champion Car Wash Field. 320 down the right field line and down the left field line. 385 to dead center field. Here as we're in the second inning, clouds are starting to roll in. We are expecting a system to roll in and cool things off here the next couple of days. It's a 1-1 pitch. That gets out of control for Johnson. And it's a 2-1 count. I think the Father's Day weekend tournament is going to be a little bit on the cooler side. Right now, looking at 65 degrees in Roseburg. My truck was saying 82 on my drive over here. And so that's cooling off pretty quickly and significantly as a pitch low, 3-1 count. There is a breeze with that system rolling through. You've got the wind picking up, and right now the American flag in dead center field is really moving out there, blowing left to right across the diamond. 3-1 pitch. A line drive will get over the shortstop Brooks Avery into left field where Dane St. Clair will collect it. A single for Eli Christ, a leadoff batter on base for the Challengers as they trail 1-0, looking to fight their way back into this one early on in the league matchup. Brings up Grady Saunders. Second hit in the ballgame there for the Challengers. Saunders, he was the winning pitcher in the game back on Monday. He looks sharp. He stands into bat here. First pitch is high for ball 1. Saunders threw 4 innings, allowed just 2 hits, no runs, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts, 1 hit batter. He picked up the win. Also at the plate was 1 for 4, scored twice, and had a stolen base. A good all-around day for Saunders. The 1-0 is low. 2-0 count. Saunders for the Challengers. He is from Thurston High School, will be just a junior next year. He's already committed to Oregon State for baseball. He takes high and away. Quite the product to have there for the Challengers on their roster from Thurston High School. Hey, I get Oregon State, definitely get that. Beavers good. We're the home of the Beavers here on the score, but see Maddox Maloney there from Thurston High School starring for the Oregon Ducks just there in Eugene, Springfield. As a 3-0 pitch taken for a strike. Set the freshman record for the most home runs by a freshman at the University of Oregon with 10 this year. He went to Thurston. Freshman there at the Ducks. You just think, hey, maybe more of those Thurston Colts would follow his footsteps to the University of Oregon. I know it's not just that easy. You can't just always pick where you want to go. As a ball 4 issued, it's ball 4. The runner safe at second. He was going to be safe anyways. It was ball 4 to Grady Saunders. So Eli Christ trying to steal second. Not going to get credit for that. First walk issued by Jake Johnson.
Next batter, number 11.
Aiden Hazen. He had a big day at the plate. He had a big day at the plate back on Monday. Was 2 for 2 with a double before he got lifted in some defensive substitutions with some pitching changes. So he had a good day before he got a rest on the bench. First pitch here to the 6-hitter. Misses for Jake. Nobody out. Runners at first and second. So Jake now looking to pitch out of a jam. Would like to see a double play opportunity for Avery and now Martin, who's starting at second base tonight. There's a strike, outside corner. Evan Martin has been starting at third most of the time. Seen him maybe practicing at first base a little bit as well, but kind of struggled a little bit at third base yesterday defensively at Medford, so they move Logan Anderson over there. They switch Martin and Anderson defensively. 1-1 from Jake. Breaking ball, beautiful. Right into the strike zone, slicing through. Called strike 2 to Aiden Hazen. Runners at first and second. Out at second base is Eli Christ. Jake Johnson. A 1-2 pitch. Low and inside, misses his spot. Or he couldn't get the hitter to chase. One of those two options. Aiden Hazen from Marist High School, senior this year for the Spartans, second team All-State catcher. The 2-2. Off the hands, flared towards second, caught by Martin, double play to first, yes sir! And the Doc Stewarts will get 2 out of a jam shot by Johnson. Sliding catch coming in on his legs. Sliding feet first. Martin gets underneath that soft liner to second. Snags it out of the air. Grady Saunders at first, running on contact, knowing there's a force play up the middle of the infield. And he was trying to stay out in front of it, and he had no shot at getting back to first. A twin killing there, 2 down. Caden Gould will bat with a man at second. Doc Stewart's getting a defensive boost there. Gould, the catcher today, fouls off the first pitch. That was quite the defensive play there by Evan Martin. Playing in a bit of a different spot there at second base, but his effort did not change. He came in and played that one perfect. Chopper, right side, playable for Jake. Johnson will field it, and underhands to Robbins at first. And the Docs will get out of a jam here in the top of the second. The Challengers get the first 2 runners on base with nobody out, but a double play and then a tapper on the infield, and the Docs get out of it here in the top of the second. We'll go to the bottom half of the frame. Docs in front, 1-0 over the Challengers here on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
There were no errors. 1 runner left.
This broadcast of Roseburg Dr. Stewart's American Legion Baseball is brought to you locally by Barnes Heating and Cooling, Cascade Community Credit Union, DC Farmers Co-op, Dr. Alanson Randall, Travel Leaders Flyaway Travel. Tune in throughout the summer for Dr. Stewart's American Legion Baseball on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Headed to the bottom of the second. Let's take a look at the defensive alignment for the visiting Eugene Challengers. Back behind the plate, it's Caden Gould, Eli Christ at first, Easton McDonald at second. Left side of the diamond, Jalen Riddle at third, Brock Johnson at short, and the outfield left to right, Grady Saunders, Peyton Tyner, and Kyle Miller. On the mound, Caden Richardson. He allowed 1 hit in the first inning, but also a run in there thanks to a walk. Was able to limit the damage to just the 1 run. He'll miss low and inside, ball 1 against Brevin Harrison, the 7-hitter. Bottom of the order here coming up for the Docs in the second, leading 1-0. 1-0 delivery from Richardson, missing low and inside again. Today's contest sponsored by DC Farmers Co-op, where everyone's welcome to shop. Richardson out of his windup. Short step back, fires in at the belt buckle, hits the inside corner. Yesterday, single A action. Dr. Randalls get their second straight win over Pepsi as a slow tapper back to the mound. And is that a foul ball or is he out? Brevin Harrison stopped running as if he thought it was a dead ball. He seems to be surprised. He thought it was a foul ball and seems to be honestly surprised by this one. Coach Savage is going to ask for an appeal. And the first base umpire was having a conversation with Coach Kenny Niles, who's out of the dugout down the right field side doing something completely unrelated to this conversation between the teams. And the out is going to stand for Brevin Harrison. So Harrison will head back to the dugout, retired for the first out here in the second. He thought that was going to be a foul ball. Didn't get the call. Ty Hellenthal, the catcher, will bat in the 8th spot. First pitch swinging for him. Popped it up. Gets out of play back behind home. Dr. Randall's 7-5 winners over Pepsi yesterday. That's the little Douglas County rivalry matchup between the two single-A teams. It's a ground ball back up the middle for Hellenthal. Gets through. Another base hit for the Doc Stewarts. Their second in the game. Hellenthal comes through with a base hit right back up the middle through the box. 1 on, 1 away. Both teams with 2 hits so far in this one. Logan Anderson, the 9-hitter, will look to send it back to the top of the order as the lights start flickering on here at Bill Gray Legion Stadium at Champion Car Wash Field. Logan Anderson had one of the 2 hits against the Challengers back on Monday. Out at first base, Hellenthal. First pitch just off the edge of the plate. Didn't miss by much there for Richardson. 1-0 count. Docs with 2 hits. Cal Robbins had the first hit of the game for the Doc Stewarts. That's always brought to you by MSK True Value. Runner going, swing and a miss. Throw down to second base offline for Gould. Sailing in, Brock Johnson saves that ball from getting into the outfield. Stolen base for Ty Hellenthal. And the Docs have not necessarily done that a ton so far this summer, but they come up with a big one there. 1-1 count for Anderson in the box. And now he's got a man in scoring position with 1 away. Anderson. The 1-1, ground ball, hits it left side. Long throw by Brock Johnson. The 1 hop into first, not in time. And Logan Anderson will beat it out on the infield. It took a little while to get to short, and it was deep in the hole at short. And the long throw by Johnson, he wanted the 1 long hop that can sometimes actually pick up steam off the artificial turf. But instead, it took 2 hops to first. Nice scoop by Chris, but he couldn't get it in the webbing in time to get Anderson. An infield single for Logan. That's 2 base hits here in the second for the Docs. First pitch low, ball 1 to the leadoff man, Cole Collins. Collins scored the only run of the game so far. Now he's got an RBI opportunity with Hellenthal out at second. Collins walked his first time up. The 1-0 pitch is low and outside. Again, the first hit of the ball game is always brought to you by MSK True Value. Make sure your summer projects are a hit with a stop by the MSK family of stores in Myrtle Creek and Tri-City. Docs, things feeling a little different here. Maybe it's because they have a lead, but they seem to be looking a little bit better at the plate right now as a 2-0 pitch hits the inside corner. You know, sometimes it can just be who's on the mound. Sometimes it could just be the approach at the plate, but this game obviously feeling a little bit different than the last 2. Swing and a miss out of Collins for strike 2. Docs making some defensive plays, and they're also being aggressive out there on the bases, but they've had runners on to be able to be aggressive on the bases. 2-2 count. Cole Collins looking to try and move the runners around. Gets a ground ball, gets by at third, into left field. They're going to send around. Hellenthal to the plate. The throw way off line. The runners will all be safe as up to third goes Anderson. An RBI single for Cole Collins. Docs lead it 2-0. Cole Collins comes through with a 2-strike single down the third base line. Just past Jalen Riddle out there. He didn't have a quick enough first step. The former Roseburg doctor, Stewart, couldn't get the glove on it in time. Hard one to get to. That ball got on him quick. Down the left field line, out to Grady Saunders in left field. His throw kind of got away. That allowed Anderson to move up to third without any sort of issues. Collins stays at first, so runners on the corners. Still just one out. Docs lead 2-0. Up to bat, Dane St. Clair. He swings and sends one to left field. Could be enough possibly here to score Anderson. He's tagging. He'll take off for home. Saunders throw, cut off, and no throw to the plate. Docs lead it 3-0 on the sac fly by Dane St. Clair. He picks up an RBI. Tried to lay down a sac bunt his first time up. Didn't end up getting it. This time around, he is able to put up the sac fly. That goes to left field for the second out. Logan Anderson comes around to score. Cole Collins had to hold at first. 2 away, and it's the heart of the lineup coming up here for the Doc Stewarts as a throw over to first base. Bounces in. Nice pick by Chris to keep that ball from getting by. Heart of the lineup coming up here. It's always brought to you by American Family Insurance. They're at the heart of it all. When life hands you a tough road or you just want to be prepared, turn to Lynette McAllister for all your insurance needs. Strike one called against Brooks. He had a fly ball out to left field. Hit it pretty well out to left, but not well enough. Docs with 2 runs in. Pitch buzzing the tower. Brooks spins out of the way. Docs with 2 runs in on 3 hits here in the second inning. 4 hits total now for the Docs. They've got something mounting for them. Looking to keep it going. Brooks Avery gets around on an inside pitch. Grounds it foul towards the Doc Stewart's dugout. Caden Richardson straightens up. Pitching out of the stretch. Fires a breaking ball outside. Couldn't get Brooks to chase after it. Count goes to 2-2. Docs looking for a win to snap a 2-game losing skid. Also get their first win in Area 4 play as Collins takes off. Throw down to second base. Good one. Got him. Out to second base. Cole Collins tried to get into scoring position. He's caught stealing as Caden Gould dials it in from behind the plate. And the tag applied for the final out. So that will finish things with Brooks Avery at the plate. He'll get a fresh count in the third inning to lead things off. But the Doc Stewarts do capitalize here in the second. 2 runs come in, 3 hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. We will go to the top of the third. Doc's in control right now, 3-0 on 541radio.com and on the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Looking for a great lunch and great value with endless options for everyone? Then hurry over to Mountain Mike's Pizza for our all-you-can-eat lunch buffet. For one low price, you can choose from a variety of signature and specialty hot and delicious pizzas. Then build your own salad your way with a wide selection of fresh vegetables, toppings, and dressings with as little or as much as you want. Mountain Mike's Weekday Lunch Buffet. It's lunch and salad bar the way it ought to be.
This broadcast of Roseburg Dr. Stewart's American Legion Baseball is brought to you locally by Fisher's Hearth and Home, Chuck Swarm and Family Auto Repair, Roseburg Disposal, Southern Septic, Evergreen Family Medicine. Tune in throughout the summer for Dr. Stewart's American Legion Baseball on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
For the Eugene overhead door challengers, number 3, Jalen Riddle.
Taking a look at our D.R. Johnson Lumber Company scoreboard update as we get ready to begin the third inning. It is Jalen Riddle to lead things off for the challengers. Right now, no runs, 2 hits, no errors for Eugene. 3 runs, 4 hits, no errors for the Roseburg Dr. Stewarts. 1-0 pitch from Jake Johnson. Hit in the air, right side, foul territory. Robbins giving chase. Cowell run out of room. That'll be strike one for Riddle. Your scoreboard updates brought to you by D.R. Johnson Lumber Company, a progressive family-owned company proudly supporting our local youth. Come on out and watch the Docs swing some lumber with us here at Champion Car Wash Field. That's D.R. Johnson, making lumber since 1951. 1-1 count. Jalen Riddle, a former Roseburg Doc Stewart, played with the team last year. We'll take high and inside. Jalen earning honorable mention All-State honors on the infield at North Bend High School, graduating this spring. In the game on Monday against the Docs, Riddle got in, was 1 for 1, did score a run in that game. Takes high and inside. He's got a 3-1 count. Good kid. I remember getting a chance to catch up and get to know him a little bit last year. Seemed like a good kid. Glad that he found a spot to play with this summer. 3-1 pitch is high, ball 4, and he's been productive at the plate in his 2 times that he's been up against his former team. Draws a leadoff walk here in the 3rd. Second walk issued by Jake Johnson. Gave up a walk in the 2nd inning, but the Docs playing some defense behind him, helping him out with a double play. See if they can maybe get one off the bat of Kyle Miller here. He stands in with a man at first and nobody out. Miller was 2 for 4, scored a run, had an RBI, did have 2 strikeouts in the game on Monday. Pickoff throw not in time. In Monday's game, Miller, he had quite the day. He struck out in his first 2 at-bats and then finished the game with a hit in his last 2 at-bats. First pitch to him is over the plate for a called strike. Doc Stewart's and Eugene, the only teams who have played an Area 4 league game so far this year. That was back on Monday. Get their second game of the series in here. High and away, pickoff throw to first, almost overthrown by Hellenthal. Count goes to 1-1 for the 9-hitter Miller. Not sure exactly when, but I think maybe this weekend the Challengers will continue their league schedule, but Redmond will get their first league games in as they, I think, going to be playing the Challengers here coming up soon. I think the Challengers take on the Crushers on Saturday, and then they turn into a series against the SunWest Generals from Redmond for their first league game for the Redmond Generals in their first year in the Area 4. Fly ball right side is well out of play, heading towards the parking lot. I was trying to think, did I park in that general vicinity? I did not, thankfully, so I think I'm okay. 2-2 count. So the rest of the league will be starting to play some catch-up. Docs won't be playing league games again coming up this weekend. In fact, they won't have league games again for a while. 2-2 pitch is high. 3-2 count. I think, let's see, we got the Father's Day tournament this weekend. Next week, they are going to their road trip up in eastern Washington and Idaho. But before they do that, no, it's the week after that. So, yeah, I think they've got like 2 weeks as a ball fouled off. Runner was going at first. Jalen Riddle will have to go back. 3-2 pitch fouled off, staying alive. Kyle Miller will have another look at the full count pitch from Jake Johnson. So, yeah, I think we're about 2 weeks away from Doc Stewart's next league game, and that'll be a doubleheader against Grants Pass here at Champion Car Wash Field. You can check out the schedule and not rely on my spotty memory as a pickoff throw, Riddle back in safely. You can check out the Doc schedule at 541radio.com on Doc Central. Get it all confirmed there. I keep that updated whenever there's changes or any of that kind of made. But it's much better than my memory. As a ball fouled off again by Miller, staying alive. The battle here in the 9 spot. It's got the 3-2 count. Out at first base after a leadoff walk, Jalen Riddle. Doc Stewart's Baseball here on The Score tonight. Sponsored by Fisher's Hearth and Home, serving Douglas County for over 30 years with the largest selection of wood, gas, pellet, and electric stoves and fireplaces in the area. 3-2. Strike 3. Runner goes to second, but tagged out at home. A strikeout there for Jake Johnson. Into second base goes Riddle. But Miller goes down looking First strikeout in the game for Johnson. And I think Kenny Niles giving the umpire a couple of 2 cents, maybe 3. Out to the mound. Hellenthal went out there for a brief conversation with Jake. Strikeout looking for Kyle Miller. He's first out, retired, back to the dugout. Top of the order, Easton McDonald coming up. Strikeouts this season are brought to you by Mountain Mike's Pizza. Don't strike out with dinner tonight. Stop by Mountain Mike's at the corner of Bellows and Harvard in Roseburg. Mountain Mike's Pizza, the way it ought to be. Top of the third inning, 3-0 lead for the Docs. One away with a man at second. A strike called. Easton McDonald popped out to third baseman Logan Anderson to start out the ballgame in the first. Anderson making a spectacular play in foul territory. The ball up over the top of him. He had to watch it straight over his ball cap into the glove, but he had the concentration. Lifted right side this time. Playable for Harrison out there. Backing up a few steps. Will get underneath it. Runner tagging and heading for third. Throw is cut off by Avery. No throw to third base. Into third goes Jalen Riddle on the fly ball out to right field. 2 away. A man 90 feet from home for the Challengers. Looking to try and get on the board for the first time, but they're down to their final out here in the third. Brock Johnson, he had a tapper back to the mound in the first. That ended in a little bit of controversy. We've had a few meetings between the coaches and the umpires in this one so far. Jake's first pitch. Breaking ball is low. No other Area 4 teams in action here tonight. We're going to have a few of them here for the Father's Day tournament this weekend at Champion Car Wash Field. 1-0 count with 2 down and a runner at third. Ball fouled off the end of the bat for Johnson. Brock Johnson, again, 0 for 1. He had 3 walks in that game on Monday. Eugene took a 2-0 lead in the first inning and held it all the way through as the Docs were shut out 6-0 in that game. They lead at 3-0 here in this one. That pitch, the hitter Brock Johnson thought he was hit. He ducked out of the way. Tossed away his bat, started heading for first. He can't believe he is not getting the call. Coach Niles not happy with no call. I think he was saying call foul ball if it hit his bat. It's a 2-1 count. Some confusion there at the plate on that last one. Brock Johnson back in. Jake Johnson on the mound. The 2-1 delivery. Breaking ball low and outside. So the visiting club, a little chirpy here in this one so far. They do trail 3-0. 3-1 pitch out of Jake with Jalen Riddle after a leadoff walk at third. 2 away. Ground ball right side. It's backhanded by Martin. Throw to first. Not in time. A run will score for the Challengers. Brock Johnson beats out an infield single. Coming in to score, Jalen Riddle from third. It's 3-1. Challengers on the board now. Still 2 outs, a runner at first base. Nice play by Evan Martin, backhanding, sliding up the middle, towards the middle in the infield there to get to that baseball. But to get back to his feet and throw to first, didn't get it there in time. Runner going, throw down to second base. Ooh, did he almost overslide? No, stays on the bag. In safely goes Johnson. Brock gets himself into scoring position. Close throw there by Hellenthal, just a hair behind. It's a 1-0 count at the plate for Peyton Tyner. Left-handed hitting center fielder. Had a single in the first against Jake Johnson. 1-0, low and outside. 3-1 ball game. Challengers getting on the board here in the third inning. Leadoff walk to Jalen Riddle results in a run coming in. Jake Johnson looking for one more out. He's got a 2-0 pitch. Tyner takes high and inside. Waiting on deck is Eli Chris, the cleanup batter. He's 1 for 1 in the game. Singled to lead off things in the second. Jake Johnson out of his stretch with Brock Johnson out at second. The 3-0 pitch is high. So ball 4 issued. Second walk in the frame. And here comes Coach A.J. Doolittle, the pitching coach for the Doc Stewarts, out to the mound for a brief visit. Try and calm down Jake Johnson, as both sides seem to be a little kind of wanting calls that they're not getting from time to time throughout this one. We'll see how things play out here through the rest of this third inning. 2 runners on base. Man out at second is Brock Johnson. Good speed out there. There's 2 away as Eli Christ gets ready to stand into the batter's box. Joey Kieran here with you from Champion Car Wash Field. It's been a breezy day here today. Lights are coming on and filling up the diamond. Clouds are rolling in. You can see blue sky off in the distance to the east, but seeing plenty of the marine layer clouds rolling in from the west, as we are expecting temperatures to cool over at least the next couple of days maybe. First pitch here to the cleanup man, Eli Christ. His breaking ball from Jake Johnson low, a 1-0 count. Doc's trying to get through things here in the third inning, keeping a hold of their lead. 1-0 pitch, fouled off. 1-1 count with 2 away. Lights starting to come on. My phone is actually saying there is a chance it may be a little bit of a few raindrops here coming up over the next few minutes. I meant to grab an extra layer thinking, yeah, it's going to cool off tonight, and I totally forgot. It felt really weird. I was sweating pretty good with pants and in the sunshine earlier today, but I knew it was going to cool off today. It's another ball over the plate, fouled away by Christ. 1-2 count. Sometimes these early summer days where it really heats up in during the daytime, then cools off at night, they are so hard to prepare for when you know you're going to be out in the elements for a little while. Sunset coming up here in about an hour officially, but the clouds starting to shade out the sun and things are darkening up out there. Swing, and that ball just fouled off by Christ. Goes all the way to the backstop as he chases some high heat. Back in for a 1-2 pitch coming up for Eli Christ. Looking at the upcoming weekend forecast for the Father's Day tournament, yeah, temperatures in the mid-60s. It's kind of crazy. 1-2 outside. Laboring through this third inning here for Jake Johnson. Needs one more out to get through things. Hanging on to a 3-1 lead here at the moment. 2-2 delivery for Johnson. Kicks and fires. Ground ball. It will be a couple of hops to Jake. He fields it just down the first base line. Makes the throw to first. And that will retire the side. Top of the third inning. A little bit of an adventure there for everybody involved. But we get through it. Doc Stewart's leading 3-1. 1 run comes in for the Challengers on no hits. There were no Doc Stewart errors and 2 men. There was 1 hit in that frame. So 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, and 2 men left on base. We'll go to the bottom of the third inning. 3-1, Doc's in front here on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Cast of Roseburg Dr. Stewart's American Legion Baseball is brought to you locally by MSK True Value, DR Johnson Lumber, and Umpqua Valley Fire Services.
Turn your home into your dream sanctuary with help from Douglas County Farmers Co-op. For over 100 years, we've carried everything you need to keep your garden and crops green and growing, including a large selection of soil mixes, composts, fertilizers, and other soil amendments. You'll also find stones, boulders, gravel, and more to add structure and diversity to your yard. Stop by or shop at DouglasCountyFarmersCoop.com.
Hold on to your taste buds because the heat is on. Introducing Mountain Mike's new jalapeno nut nuts. For limited time, they're just $5.99. Order online or on our app for dine-in, carry-out, or delivery.
First batter for the Ducks, number 5, Brooks Avery.
Back out onto the mound, Caden Richardson for Eugene now has a run on the board for his team from the offense, so he's got something to work with. The 0-1 pitch off the end of the bat for Brooks Avery, fouls down the first base line. Brooks Avery, the 3-hitter. Well, an 0-2 count to start off things here in the bottom of the third. He was at the plate when Cole Collins was caught stealing in the second inning. And so he gets back up to bat with a fresh count, but now he's down 0-2 to start things off here as we've got the heart of the lineup coming up. The 0-2 fouled off. Avery will stay alive. On deck is Cal Robbins, had the RBI single back in the first inning. The on-deck hitter is brought to you by Evergreen Family Medicine. 0-2 delivery for Richardson. Swing and a miss. And there is strike 3. Down on strikes goes Avery. Expect the unexpected at Evergreen Family Medicine, serving Roseburg, Myrtle Creek, and Sutherland. Evergreen offers more than traditional primary care. They're dedicated to providing exceptional care for the unspoken needs of some of our community's most vulnerable. You can always expect more from Evergreen. 1 out. Cal Robbins at the plate. First pitch swinging. High chopper towards third. Picked up by Riddle. Throw to first. And there are 2 away. Well, just like that, a quick 2 outs for the challengers.
Number 10, Daniel Withers.
And it'll bring up Daniel Withers, the 5-hitter. Withers hit by a pitch back in the first inning. Try to get a 2-out rally going here for the Doc Stewarts. Takes outside. Momentum shifting a little bit here as the challengers do get on the board. Have a lengthy inning up to bat in the top of this third inning. Withers gets underneath one. Kind of softly hit out towards no man land out in right field, but going out, Easton McDonald, the second baseman, is there to make the grab in front of Kyle Miller coming in from right field. Docs go down quietly in the bottom of the third. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. We're through 3 innings of play. Docs in front, 3-1 over the Eugene Challengers. Back here on 541radio.com and on the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Don't forget the
Johnson Lumber Company, a forward-thinking family company, has been operating in the Douglas County community for over 60 years. Founded by Don R. Johnson, the man who set the tone of commitment to these local communities by providing stable, long-term employment. D.R. Johnson Lumber Company understands the significance of investing in our youth because they are the foundation of our future. That's why they're a proud supporter of Roseburg Doc Stewarts. Come watch the Docs swing some lumber with D.R. Johnson Lumber Company. Go Docs!
This broadcast of Roseburg Dr. Stewart's American Legion Baseball is brought to you locally by Neal Company Real Estate, American Family Insurance, Champion Car Wash, Cooper's Pest Control, Mountain Mike's Pizza. Tune in throughout the summer for Dr. Stewart's American Legion Baseball on the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Coming up this weekend here at Champion Car Wash Field, come out and enjoy some baseball as we'll have 6 teams competing in the Father's Day tournament. Games get started tomorrow afternoon at 3:15 and will run through the weekend here at Champion Car Wash Field. First pitch of the 4th inning. Jake Johnson buries one outside for ball 1 against Grady Saunders, who walked when he was up to bat back in the 2nd inning. 1-0 delivery for Johnson. Looking to try and get back in a groove out there on the mound, but he misses high. 2 balls, no strikes. Saunders, Hazen, and Gould, the 3 batters due up here in the 4th inning. 2-0 delivery. Slapped right side. That ball is going to go foul. Tomorrow it'll be Mid-Valley and Klamath Falls squaring off at 3:15. Corvallis and Medford at 5:30, and then the Docs wrap up day 1 of the tournament at 7:45 tomorrow night, taking on the Salem Withnell Dodgers. That is the Friday schedule. Saturday, games get started at 8:40 in the morning. Doc Stewart's will have the first game of the day and the last game as they play a doubleheader. 2-1 pitch, slapped right side again. Brevin Harrison came in, now racing back, and it goes by his glove. Going to roll all the way to the fence. Grady Saunders heading for second. He's going for third, and he will be in safely. An error in right field. And the Challengers will have a man at third base. So that ball right at Brevin Harrison out in right field. And he just misread that one. Sometimes those balls right at you, it can kind of be hard to judge exactly how far they're going to carry. He came in at first, went back, looked like he was in the right spot, but it just went right by his glove and rolls all the way to the right field fence. A run now 90 feet from home. Aiden Hazen is at the plate. He hit a soft liner to second base to start a double play back in the second. That was a big defensive play for the Doc Stewarts. 1-0 count. As he takes a breaking ball low. Johnson gets a breaking ball in on the inside corner at the knees. Runner at third, nobody away. Jake works out of his stretch, comes set, fires a fastball, fouled off. A ball and 2 strikes against Aiden Hazen, the 6-hitter. Sunday's matchups in that Father's Day tournament will be determined on how things play out through the tournament there. First place and second place will meet in the championship game, third and fourth in the middle game, and then fifth and sixth will start out the day on Sunday in the first game. The 1-2. Swung on and missed. Big strikeout for Jake. He goes up top and gets Hazen to chase after it. That is the second strikeout in the ballgame for Jake Johnson. One away here in the fourth. Strikeouts are brought to you by Mountain Mike's Pizza. Don't swing and miss with dinner tonight. Stop by Mountain Mike's at the corner of Bellows and Harvard and Roseburg. Mountain Mike's Pizza, the way it ought to be. One down. Up to bat, Caden Gould. He'll tap one off the plate. Fair ball. They're going to apply the tag on the runner. Nice play by Hellenthal. And that is a second time that Caden Gould has had a tapper just back in front of the plate. Gould thought that ball was going to be foul. He didn't take off running right away. But a nice job by Hellenthal to make sure he got to that baseball quickly while it was still in fair territory. Makes the grab, applies the tag on the runner, still standing at the plate. There's 2 down. And the Doc Stewarts, some defense, a little bit of luck there. They need one more out to strand a runner at third. First pitch fouled off by Jalen Riddle, the 8-hitter. Riddle drew a walk and scored the only run of the game so far for the Challengers back in the third inning. He bats again here in the fourth. Back-to-back innings, he gets a chance to step up to the plate. The 0-1 delivery goes by the Hellenthal to the backstop, and that will bring in the runner from third. And, man, that's a backbreaker. I'm going to put that down as a pass ball. Hellenthal reaching across his body instead of sliding to get to that ball and make sure it doesn't get by. He just tried to stab at it with a backhand, and it gets away from him. And Docs, right now the Docs, they need a little bit more protection back behind the plate to allow their pitchers to pitch in the bottom of the zone. As a breaking ball in for a strike. 3-2 the score now for the Challenger, or in favor of the Docs, but the Challengers get another run on the board. A 1-2 count for Jalen Riddle. And the throw in. Popped up, back and out of play. Stays a 1-2 count. We've seen a lot of balls get by to the backstop this season. And that is a big role for a catcher. You got to allow your pitcher, especially guys like Jake Johnson who throw a lot of breaking balls, got to allow them to pitch at the bottom of the zone to get hitters to chase, and that means balls in the dirt. You got to work hard back there to make sure they stay in front. Outside, 2-2. Now, I'm not saying it's easy, but that is the role of the catcher. And the Docs trying to find somebody that they feel like can be an anchor back there for them. 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball lifted towards center field on the run. Cole Collins will get there as he slides to the ground as he secures the ball. And, man, that just makes that pass ball hurt even more as the Doc Stewarts could have kept that run off the board. Riddle flies out to center field. The Challengers will get one on the board. No hits. There was one Doc Stewart error, and nobody left on base. So it's 3-2 as we go to the bottom of the fourth inning. Doc still in front here on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Wildlife Safari.
Hey there, sports fans. Thanks for watching this local sporting event online at 541radio.com. Did you know there's more than one way to watch games online? You can watch games on your laptop or desktop computer, your tablet, or even your smartphone just by going to 541radio.com. But we also use YouTube to stream all of our video broadcasts, which means you could be watching this game on your big screen TV with a number of different streaming devices. You can stream our live YouTube broadcast through your PlayStation or Xbox gaming device, or through streaming devices like Google Chromecast, Apple TV, or Roku. There's plenty of ways to follow this live local sporting event. Plus, you can find past events archived on 1490 The Score's YouTube channel. Find us on YouTube and subscribe today to keep up with the latest in local sports coverage.
Bottom of the fourth inning, Evan Martin, Brevin Harrison, and Ty Hellenthal coming up to bat against Caden Richardson. Docs looking to try and get back a couple of runs that they have given up in the last two innings. It is 3-2 right now. First pitch, swing and a miss for Evan Martin. Martin last time up, he hit a grounder to short. It was the final out of the inning, a fielder's choice. They get the force out at second. Martin underneath a ball, hits it out towards center field. It'll hook towards right field, losing his cap, but still making the play, Kyle Miller. Let's go ahead and pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is Doc Stewart's Baseball here on The Score. One away, Brevin Harrison gets a chance to step in again, looking to try and make some amends for that misplay in right field. First pitch, swinging foul, out of play, strike one. We'll want to take a moment here, and we'll mention this again probably tomorrow and maybe Saturday as well, but to let you know about the passing of a former Doc Stewart's coach and player, a baseball standout here out of Douglas County, John Livingston, JL. Passed away back in April. It's a ground ball, bunt, picked up by Riddle. A throw to first, not in time. Brevin Harrison in safely. An infield single for Harrison on the bunt to third base. One on and one away. John Livingston passed away back on April 12th at the age of 82. Coached back for the Docs in 1982. Also played for the Docs back in the 50s, the early years of the program. Actually was playing for the Docs when they went to the Legion World Series in 1956. He was 14 years old as a pickoff throw to first. Harrison back in safely. Also went on to play for the University of Oregon. Got a chance in the minors with the Minnesota Twins program, franchise, organization is the word I was looking for. First pitch, a strike against Hellenthal, a 1 count. He has been inducted into the Oregon High School Baseball Coaches Association Hall of Fame back in 1999. He was Mr. Glide, as he had been described, born and bred out there. As the pitch in goes off the glove for the catcher, out to second base goes Harrison. He was stealing second. The ball goes off the glove for the catcher, Caden Gould, so he gets in without a throw. And it's a 1-1 count at the plate, a man into scoring position for the Doc Stewarts. At the plate, Ty Hellenthal, a base hit his last time up. Base knock right now could be big for the Docs. Breaking ball outside, 2-1. So obviously he was a big part of Douglas County and sports here with the Doc Stewarts, and wanted to acknowledge his passing. And coming up this Saturday, a celebration for life. The ball right side will get down, base hit. Kyle Miller will play it on the one hop. They've got Harrison holding at third. He took a big turn, almost collided with Jalen Riddle coming around the third base side, and Coach Savage is trying to call for an interference call. Harrison took a big turn at third, and right there was Jalen Riddle, a contact, and Coach Savage trying to call for interference, not going to get that call from the umpires. And so it'll be first and third with one away for the Docs here in the bottom of the fourth.
Now batting number 4.
So they didn't get the benefit there. Harrison ends up at third base. No obstruction call for him. Single for Hellenthal. He's 2 for 2 in the game. Nice start there. Logan Anderson had a base hit his last time up. He'll stand in. Hits it off the end of his bat for strike one. Fouls it away. Celebration of Life for JL, John Livingston, coming up this Saturday at noon out at the Glide High School Gymnasium. So for those that maybe weren't aware or didn't know, or you just want to go and celebrate the life of a well-known figure in community and youth sports here in Douglas County, John Livingston, 82. Ball to left field. That ball, too hard hit, tagging and heading for home. Here comes Harrison. The throw's going to beat him. And that'll be a double play. Harrison, I don't know if Coach Savage wanted him to go or not, but he was looking to try and make it happen. And that ball just too hard hit by Logan Anderson to left field. It got to Grady Saunders too quickly, and the throw to the plate right on target to Caden Gould for the tag. So the Doc Stewarts, a little bit of momentum there with back-to-back singles, unable to capitalize and bring across a run, and they will keep a 3-2 lead going to the top of the fifth. Doc Stewart's in front against the Eugene Challengers here on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
My wife and I moved to Oregon to raise a family, set our roots, and to have a lot of fun outdoors. We quickly realized that we needed a truck or a rig for the projects that we were doing in the backyard. When we were looking to find a place to finance our truck, we asked our patients, and everyone recommended Cascade Community Credit Union. It was so easy to work with Cascade. Everything was done via email, phone, and we didn't even need to go in. I can't wait to finish up the projects in the backyard, go on more adventures in our truck with our boys, and I look forward to working with Cascade again in the future.
Brook Communications radio stations have joined forces with the News Review and Lotus Web Services, announcing the Lotus Media Group, a multimedia enterprise. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen with Lotus Media Group, LLC.com.
Three to two, our ball game going to the top of the fifth inning. A couple of scoring chances going by the wayside for the Doc Stewarts. Now a ground ball towards short. Brooks Avery right in front of it. Rifles across to Cal Robbins for the first out here in the fifth as the 9-hitter Kyle Miller will ground out.
Kyle Miller with the ground out.
One away, top of the order. Easton McDonald will bat. First pitch of the fifth inning, resulting in an out for the Doc Stewarts. Easton McDonald 0 for 2 with a pair of fly ball outs. The lefty takes high and away for ball one. Docs with 6 hits in the ball game, doing much better than the 2 they had on Monday against Eugene, but haven't been able to manufacture any runs here in the last couple of frames. There's a strike at the knees, inner half. McDonald a 1-1 count. There is an arm warming up in the bullpen for the Challengers. Colin Hernandez looked like he was getting loose out there. We'll kind of try to confirm on that. Pitch inside. 2 balls and a strike. Hernandez came in and threw 3 innings of relief against the Docs back on Monday. Didn't give up a hit. He walked 1 and had 4 strikeouts. No runs allowed either. 2-1 pitch. Called for a strike on the outside corner. The breaking ball drops right in the bucket for a called strike against McDonald. 2-2 pitch. Fouled away. Hernandez ended up getting the save in that one, pitching 3 innings for the Challengers. 2-2 delivery once again for Jake here with 1 out, nobody on. That ball fought off. I'm not sure how Easton McDonald even got the bat on that one. Felt like his swing was so late in that pitch, but he did get a piece of it to stay alive. Poked that breaking ball foul towards the visiting dugout. 2-2 again. Grounds one softly towards second. Martin in front of it, has some time, gets it to Robbins, 2 down. Brock Johnson will stand in. Today's ballgame brought to you by Flyaway Travel. Contact the travel experts at Flyaway Travel. Make sure you've got an agent in your corner for that next trip you're planning this summer. Call 541-672-5701. 2 down, nobody on base. 2-hitter Brock Johnson tries to lay down a bunt, fouls it down the first base side. Docs scored 1 in the first, put up 2 more in the second, led 3-0. But then the Challengers get 1 back in the third and 1 in the fourth to get back into the ballgame. 3-2 our score. The 0-1 pitch outside by Jake. Jake Johnson, the junior from Roseburg High School, senior coming up this next spring for the Indians. Likely will be the ace of that staff. The 1-1 breaking ball just outside. A 2-1 count. Jake earning all-conference honors this year for the Indians. The 2-1 pitch, high and inside against Brock Johnson. Brock Johnson had an RBI single in his last at-bat. He's 1 for 2 here today. 3-1 delivery for Jake. Grounder towards third base. It's scooped up by Logan Anderson. Long toss across the diamond. Gets it there. A 1-2-3 frame with 3 ground outs to every position except for the first baseman on the infield. Doc Stewart's playing some defense behind Jake to give him some support. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on base. Through 4.5, it's still Docs in front, 3-2 as we go to the bottom of the 5th here on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
At Douglas County Farmers Co-op, we want your four-legged friends to be healthy and happy. That's why we stock a carefully curated selection of pet, equine, and livestock supplies. From the premium foods your pets crave to grooming and show supplies that help you shine in the show ring, you'll find it at Douglas County Farmers Co-op. Our knowledgeable staff are here to help with those tough pet and livestock care questions. Stop by or shop at DouglasCountyFarmersCoop.com.
It's time to get your game on with Mountain Mike's oven roasted chicken wings. They're meaty, juicy, in 4 bold sauces ready to tempt your taste buds. And they're hand sauced and tossed for every order. It's game on with Mountain Mike's Pizza oven roasted chicken wings. Get your wings today. Order online or on our app for carryout or delivery.
First batter for the Docs for lead off.
Doc Stewart's baseball here on the Score is brought to you by Chuck Swarman Family Auto Repair. Are you ready to go where life takes you? Bottom of the 5th, top of the order coming up for the Docs. Cole Collins up to bat. First pitch from Caden Richardson. Hits the outside corner with a breaking ball. Collins is 1 for 1 in the game. Has an RBI single. Also drew a walk and has scored a run. The 0-1 pitch. Grounds one towards third. Played by Riddle. Throw across to Christ. And there's 1 down. Coming up to bat will be Dane St. Clair. On deck is Brooks Avery, the 3-hitter scheduled for this half inning. Your on-deck sponsor is Evergreen Family Medicine. Expect the unexpected at Evergreen Family Medicine, serving Roseburg, Myrtle Creek, and Sutherland. Evergreen offers more than traditional primary care. They're dedicated, providing exceptional care for the unspoken needs of our community's most vulnerable. Swing and a miss for strike 1 to Dane St. Clair. You can always expect more from Evergreen. The 0-1 pitch inside at the shoe tops for Dane. Big Red at the plate. Left-handed batter facing the right-handed pitcher, Caden Richardson, who is settled in nicely. Ground ball right side. Takes a couple of big hops out there for Easton McDonald. 2 down. Richardson gave up 3 runs in the first 2 innings on 4 hits. He did get touched up for 2 hits in the 4th inning, but was able to pitch around some trouble and a play at the plate on a sac fly attempt. Helped get the Challengers through that 4th inning without any trouble. And so he is settled in nicely and is finding a groove as he'll get a ground ball to short. It's bobbled. Pick it up, the throw to first, not in time. It'll be an error for Brock Johnson at shortstop. Brooks Avery gets on safely for his first time today. Avery had flown out to left field and struck out. He gets on with that error. First error of the ball game for Eugene. Docs with an error back in the, that would be back in the 4th inning. So we'll have both teams with 1. We'll take a look at that D.R. Johnson scoreboard update here in a moment as a pickoff throw to first base. Caden Richardson from Pleasant Hill High School. Apparently he got the scouting report on Brooks Avery. Avery does like to get moving on the bases if he gets the opportunity. He looks antsy out there. The pitch, though, to the plate, he was not going until Cal Robbins fouled it off. Strike 1 for Robbins. Cal had the first hit of the ballgame for the Doc Stewarts. Always brought to you by MSK True Value. Make sure that your summer projects are a hit with a stop by the MSK family of stores in Myrtle Creek and Tri-City. Over to first base once again. Avery back in safely. Robbins 1 for 2 in the game last time and grounded out to third. Looking to try and get things moving on the bases here. The 0-1 pitch. He hits a soft liner to second. It's going to be playable for Easton McDonald, who slides to his knees to make the catch. Didn't get enough behind that one to go opposite field. Robbins the final out here in the 5th. Docs leave a man stranded. No runs on no hits. There was 1 error for the Challengers. The 1 man left on. We are through 5 innings of play. We go to the 6th here on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
There were no hits.
This broadcast of Roseburg Dr. Stewart's American Legion Baseball is brought to you locally by Barnes Heating and Cooling, Cascade Community Credit Union, DC Farmers Co-op, Dr. Alanson Randall, Travel Leaders Flyaway Travel. Tune in throughout the summer for Dr. Stewart's American Legion Baseball on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
First batter for the overhead door.
Close one for us here between 2 league rivals. Eugene Challengers trailing by 1 as we start the 6th inning. Peyton Tyner, the lefty, will stand in to start off against Jake Johnson into his 6th inning of work. And he drops a breaking ball, the curveball in at the top of the zone for strike 1. Tyner is 1 for 1 in the game, a single and a walk. He leads things off in the top of the 6th inning. Takes Lone outside. We'll get a look at our D.R. Johnson Lumber Company scoreboard update. Score is 3-2. We'll get to the rest of the numbers in a moment. The 1-1 called strike 2. 2 runs on 3 hits, 1 error, and 3 men left on base right now for the Eugene Challengers. The 1-2 pitch, low and outside from Jake. For the Doc Stewarts, they've got 3 runs on 6 hits, 1 error, and they've left 4 men on base in this one. Docs with a run in the first and 2 in the second to build a 3-0 lead as a ground ball right side. Charging in, Evan Martin there to make the play. A throw on the run to first. And that is 4 consecutive groundouts for Jake Johnson and the defense behind him making the plays. 1 away. Docs with 1 in the first, 2 in the second. They led 3-0. Eugene got 1 back in the third, another 1 in the fourth. 3-2 our score. That's your D.R. Johnson Lumber Company scoreboard update. Come out and watch the Docs swing some lumber. I don't think they're going to be throwing it around. It's not quite how it's designed to be done. D.R. Johnson Lumber Company, making lumber since 1951. The 1-0 pitch, high and inside. At the plate, Eli Christ, 1 for 2 today with a single back in the second inning. 2-0 delivery. Just low and outside. A lot of jackets out there, long sleeves, and there goes a guy walking by with a stocking cap on. It feels so weird after we were seeing temperatures in the upper 80s for a few days there. Definitely a cooler night here at Champion Car Wash Field. Down the middle for a strike on the 3-0 pitch by Johnson. He gets back into the at-bat against Christ. Eli Christ, 2 for 4 back on Monday against the Doc Stewarts. The 3-1. Chops that one towards third. High hop. Logan Anderson has to make a quick throw. He does exactly that. It's now 5 consecutive putouts on ground balls for Jake Johnson. 2 away. And it'll bring up Grady Saunders, who is 0 for 1 in the game. He reached on a walk and reached on an error. And he has scored a run for the Challengers on a pass ball. A 1-run ball game. Doc's in front right now. First pitch with 2 outs. A grounder left side. Cut off in front by Anderson. Over to Cal Robbins. And it's another 3 up, 3 down on 3 straight ground ball outs for Jake Johnson and the Doc Stewarts defense. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. Jake Johnson has now retired 9 consecutive batters, and the Doc Stewarts still lead by 1. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th here on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Looking for a great lunch and great value with endless options for everyone? Then hurry over to Mountain Mike's Pizza for our all-you-can-eat lunch buffet. For one low price, you can choose from a variety of signature and specialty hot and delicious pizzas. Then build your own salad your way with a wide selection of fresh vegetables, toppings, and dressings with as little or as much as you want. Mountain Mike's Weekday Lunch Buffet. It's lunch and salad bar the way it ought to be.
This broadcast of Roseburg Dr. Stewart's American Legion Baseball is brought to you locally by Fisher's Hearth and Home, Chuck Swarm and Family Auto Repair, Roseburg Disposal, Southern Septic, Evergreen Family Medicine. Tune in throughout the summer for Dr. Stewart's American Legion Baseball on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Number 10, Dan Withers.
Bottom of the 6th inning here. Doc Stewart's in front of the visiting Eugene Challengers. Game 2 of this league series, a 4-game series. The final 2 will be in Eugene at Sweet Johnson Stadium. A 1-0 pitch to Daniel Boone. It's taken low for a 2-0 count. Doc's leading at 3-2. Taking the 3-0 lead, and so far they've been able to hold off Eugene after the Challengers made it a 1-run ball game. At the knees, inside corner, strike 1 against Withers. He's got a 2-1 count, leading things off for the Docs. Activity in the bullpen once again for the Challengers. Outside corner, but low, 3-1 for Withers. Daniel hit by a pitch back in the first inning to get on base. The 3-1. Swing and a miss. Goes after the 3-1 pitch. Saw one he liked, took a good rip at it, did not connect. He'll find himself back at the plate with the 3-2 pitch coming. Takes outside for ball 4. He will hustle down to first base. A leadoff walk here in the 6th inning for the Doc Stewarts. Just the second walk issued by Caden Richardson. Walks by opposing pitchers are brought to you by Umpqua Valley Fire Services. Things can get out of control quickly. That's why they provide unmatched fire safety and services with the fire extinguisher, fire sprinkler services, and much more. Umpqua Valley Fire Services works to keep their clients and neighbors safe. As a bunt laid down, goes third base side. It's bobbled by Richardson, and everyone is safe. Evan Martin on safely. That'll be an error by the pitcher. Up to second base goes Withers. Still nobody out. The Docs Mounting some pressure here in the 6th inning, and here comes a visit by one of the assistant coaches for this Challengers team. That is Coach Goldagger, headed out there to the mound for a visit. Visit uvfs.net to make sure that you're prepared when things get out of control. That's Umpqua Valley Fire Services, our sponsor of opposing walks by opposing pitchers. A long walk out to the mound for Goldagger to have this conversation with Richardson here. Out there along with him, Caden Gould, the catcher. Doc Stewart's leading 3-2, but nobody out. Runners at first and second. They were looking to play some small ball and put a runner into scoring position, and a bobble by Richardson on the mound. And that gave the Docs an opportunity to get 2 on with nobody out. Looking to take advantage here. Normally in league play, they'll play double headers with the one team getting 2 games at home, the other team getting 2 games at home, back-to-back, just a double header there. But because of some scheduling differences this year, Doc Stewart's and the Eugene Challengers decided they would play 2 singles and get those games in here at Champion Car Wash Field, and then they'll play a double header when they go to Eugene later in the season. I'm looking up the date on that one. Looks like they go to Eugene on July 8th for a doubleheader to finish out the 4-game series. A bunt attempt popped up. Will get into the net behind home. Strike 1 on the foul ball for Brevin Harrison. Docs again looking to play some small ball. Harrison at the plate is 1 for 2 today. Got on with a single back in the 4th on the infield. The 0-1 pitch. They're playing in on the corners. Pitch outside. Harrison lays off with his bunt attempt. He's got a 1-1 count. Playing in front of the runner at first base is Eli Christ. Hanging near the bag at third base is Jalen Riddle, protecting with runners at first and second. Nobody out. The 1-1. A bunt third base side goes foul. Right idea, just couldn't keep it in fair territory for Harrison, and the count will go to 1-2. Harrison was at third base back in the 4th inning when Logan Anderson hit a laser shot to left field. Got out there too quickly, and Grady Saunders was able to catch and fire back to the plate to get Harrison out for the final out of the 4th inning, cutting down a scoring chance. 1-2 to Brev. He'll lay off on the breaking ball. That carries just outside. What a tough pitch to lay off on. Harrison holds off. He's got a 2-2 count. That ball didn't miss by much, and it looked real good at the start. Had some good late movement to entice the hitter. 2-2 again from Richardson. And the pitch got away. I thought maybe I heard a balk call, but they don't seem to have a dead ball. The ball got by. Caden Gould trickled to the left side. And everybody else is looking around like maybe there was a balk call. I thought I heard somebody yell something, but they never called a dead ball. Oh, I guess one of the coaches somewhere might have said that there was a balk, but it wasn't one of the umpires. And now out of the dugout, Kenny Niles to have a word once again. And he will turn and head back to the dugout now. So I guess maybe one of the Docs coaches were thinking that there should be a balk called. There wasn't one, apparently. So it'll be a pass ball that allowed both Evan Martin and Daniel Withers to move up 90 feet. Runners at second and third now for the Docs. 2-2 pitch misses. The count goes full. Nobody out. Big opportunity here for Roseburg. Full count pitch. Caden Richardson delivers. Ground ball chopper. Gets over the third baseman, Jalen Riddle, into left field. Heading into third, will go Martin is coming in to score his Withers. An RBI single for Brevin Harrison. Doc Stewart's will get a little bit of insurance here in the 6th. They make it 4-2. Runners on the corners with nobody out still. And up the bat will be Ty Hellenthal, who's 2 for 2 in the ballgame and has a big opportunity to keep adding on here in the 6th. That ball just bounces off the springy turf over the head of Jalen Riddle. He did what he could, but that ball, he would have had to get back. But you never know right off the bat if that ball's going to carry as much as it did in the air. So Riddle, tough play to be made, couldn't make it, gets over the top of him into left field. Evan Martin races the third, gets in safely. Daniel Withers scored. Harrison on it first. Docs lead it 4-2, and we get a pitching change as Caden Richardson will come out of the game, and they will go to the bullpen as Ty Hellenthal gets ready to bat. It's 4-2. Doc Stewart's in front with runners on the corners and nobody out in the bottom of the sixth. We'll take a 1-minute timeout and come back here on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Cast of Roseburg Dr. Stewart's American Legion Baseball is brought to you locally by MSK True Value, DR Johnson Lumber, and Umpqua Valley Fire Services.
Turn your home into your dream sanctuary with help from Douglas County Farmers Co-op. For over 100 years, we've carried everything you need to keep your garden and crops green and growing, including a large selection of soil mixes, composts, fertilizers, and other soil amendments. You'll also find stones, boulders, gravel, and more to add structure and diversity to your yard. Stop by or shop at DouglasCountyFarmersCoop.com.
Hold on to your taste buds because the heat is on. Introducing Mountain Mike's new jalapeno nut nuts. For limited time, they're just $5.99. Order online or on our app for dine-in, carry-out, or delivery.
Taking over on the mound for the Challengers is going to be Colin Hernandez. He had a good 3 innings against the Doc Stewarts back on Monday. Didn't allow a hit or a run. 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. The lefty will come out of the bullpen to take over for Caden Richardson. Richardson goes 5 innings. Doesn't get an out here in the 6th, so he'll get credited for 5 innings. And he will give up 7 hits. Right now credited with 4 runs, but 2 runners on base are his runners, so those would go to his total if they come around to score. Now let's see, 2 walks issued by Richardson, and he finished with 2 strikeouts. No, 1 strikeout for Caden Richardson. So he'll exit the game. Colin Hernandez will take over. He'll face Ty Hellenthal, who's 2 for 2 in the ball game. And he will bat with runners on the corners and nobody out. He takes high and inside for ball 1. As we start off the at-bat. Here, bottom of the 6th. Doc's looking to really put up a big half inning. Squaring to bunt. And Hellenthal pushes it first base side. Chris race to the bag. Did he get the tag in time? Yes, they say he will. A run does come in to score as Chris loses the baseball, knocked out of his glove, trickles into foul territory. Hellenthal still at first, and they're going to say the tag just in the nick of time at first base by Chris as he dove to the bag while Hellenthal dove to the bag as well. And for Chris, just in the nick of time, able to get the tag on that one. Docs, though, add a run. They'll trade the out for the run. Up to second base went Brevin Harrison. Scoring was Evan Martin. Coach Savage did have a quick conversation with the umpire. So that'll be a sac bunt to drive in a run for Hellenthal is what I would put it down as. I'm not sure 100% if that's accurate or not, but he sacrificed himself to bring in a run. Almost got on for a hit. Man out at second base, Logan Anderson batting. Check swing. Strike 1. 1 away. 2 runs in here in the 6th inning. Crooked number up on the board for the Doc Stewarts. They lead it 5-2. 0-1 delivery with 1 out. Anderson, kind of another half-hearted swing where he got a little indecisive. This time he goes even further around. And he's got himself an 0-2 count right now. Hitting at the top of the zone, Colin Hernandez. He'll go up top again. Can't get Anderson to chase after that one. Warming up for the Doc Stewarts is Colton Sywell out in the bullpen. 1-2 pitch here from the lefty Hernandez. Inside. That one almost got Logan Anderson. I'm not exactly sure how it didn't. That ball came way inside. Sywell, the right-hander, out there throwing in the bullpen. Docs 3 outs away from trying to get a win in their second league game and even up this series against the Challengers. 2-2 pitch. Hernandez, high leg kick, delivers. That ball grounded towards short, in the hole. The throw goes to third in time. No! Safe is the call at third base, and the Challengers, they're not able to believe that call once again. They all look to the dugout wondering if their coach will contend that one as well. But the call is safe at third. Fielder's choice for Anderson. Brock Johnson, the shortstop, didn't have much of a choice. It was going to be a tough out to get all the way across at first base. So he went the short distance trying to get the tag play at third, but Harrison sliding in ahead of the tag according to the field umpire. Top of the order, Cole Collins. High and away, takes ball 1. Still just 1 out here in this 6th inning. Doc Stewart's with 2 runs in already. Runners on the corners. Colin Hernandez trying to get them through this one here. The 1-0 pitch, fouled back by Collins. Lights starting to take more and more effect as the night wears on. We are, I think, 17 minutes away from officially the sunset here tonight. Man, it's just crazy when it's sunsetting right around 9 o'clock. Outside on the 1-1 pitch, 2-1. But clouds rolled in early, and so it's been kind of darkening as the day's been going on because the clouds shadowing out the sun. So been kind of a cooler and more mellow evening here because the clouds. Ball popped up, foul out of play for Collins. He's got a 2-2 count. Cole in the leadoff spot tonight for the first time. Brooks Avery dropping down in the order to the 3 spot. Cole taking over in the leadoff spot. He is 1 for 2, has an RBI single, also a walk. He scored a run as well. He's looking to add to his RBI total here. He's got Brevin Harrison at third base with just 1 out. At first base is Logan Anderson. The 2-2 pitch. Grounder goes towards second, could be 2. A flip to the bag for 1. Relay to first for 2. Not in time. Docs add another run. The turn took too long out at second, and the Docs will make it 6-2 as they will get Harrison to score. Out at second base was Logan Anderson on the force out, but the relay to first base by Brock Johnson, a hair behind the speedy Cole Collins, who beats out the throw to first, and that gets the Docs a run. So he'll pick up an RBI on the fielder's choice. And up to bat, Dane St. Clair will try to keep things going with 2 outs. He takes outside for ball 1. Lefty-lefty matchup. So fielder's choice for Collins, but he picks up another RBI. St. Clair takes a strike at the bottom of the zone. I thought that pitch ended up in the dirt. I was about to tell you that, and then I heard the strike 1 call. A 1-1 count. 2 away. Runner at first base, Cole Collins, the only man on base right now. Coming in to score the 3rd run of the inning was Brevin Harrison. First 3 runners all get on. They all come in to score. Those all go against Caden Richardson's total. Pickoff throw to first. Diving back in goes Collins. Almost got got caught leaning the wrong way, but he was not that far off the bag, so he recovers. So 6 runs in total for the Doc Stewarts with 3 here in the 6th. All 6 runs go against Caden Richardson. Throw to the plate, the 1-1. Big cut out of Dane. And he's got himself a 1-2 count. St. Clair 0 for 2 in the game. Couple of ground outs. He does have a sac fly that drove in a run. The 1-2 pitch. Hits a ground ball to first. Knocked down by Chris. Bobbled around. Race to the bag. St. Clair out at first. Another bang-bang play at the bag. The umpire racing to get there to get a clean look at it, and the call is out. Covering the bag nicely, Colin Hernandez in there in time to make the putout and wrap up the 6th inning. But the Doc Stewarts add some insurance. They get 3 runs on the board. They lead 6-2 as we go to the 7th. Docs need 3 more outs. They'll look to Colton Sywell to get them here on 541radio.com and on the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Johnson Lumber Company, a forward-thinking family company, has been operating in the Douglas County community for over 60 years. Founded by Don R. Johnson, the man who set the tone of commitment to these local communities by providing stable, long-term employment. D.R. Johnson Lumber Company understands the significance of investing in our youth because they are the foundation of our future. That's why they're a proud supporter of Roseburg Dock Stewarts. Come watch the Docks swing some lumber with D.R. Johnson Lumber Company. Go Docks!
This broadcast of Roseburg Dr. Stewart's American Legion Baseball is brought to you locally by Neal Company Real Estate, American Family Insurance, Champion Car Wash, Cooper's Pest Control, Mountain Mike's Pizza. Tune in throughout the summer for Dr. Stewart's American Legion Baseball on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Colton Sywell takes over on the mound for Jake Johnson, who goes a strong 6 innings in line to get a win, and Sywell pumps in a first pitch strike one against Aiden Hazen. 7th inning, Docs need 3 outs to get a win against the Challengers here tonight, and Colton Sywell has come in filling up the strike zone. He fires in strike 2. It's quickly an 0-2 count against Aiden Hazen, the leadoff man for the Challengers. He chops it off the plate, charging in. Anderson, a quick throw on the run. Got to scoop it at first. It gets by, and there is going to be obstruction by the Doc Stewarts at first base. Cal Robbins trying to field a play at the bag. A one-hop in, a throw on the run by Logan Anderson, and Robbins doing what he could to try and make that play at first. His arm got in the way of Aiden Hazen, and so he got the second on the ball getting by anyways, but the obstruction call was going to give him second base as it was. So that'll be an infield single, and then I guess an E5 for Anderson on the throwing error. So puts a man at second base with nobody out. Sywell did a good job starting things off, filling up the strike zone. But a just a chopper down that third base line. Tough play on a ball not hit hard. Hazen able to race down to first. If Cal Robbins had made the play at first, they might have been able to get the out. Maybe. There's another strike right across the plate for Sywell, the righty from Bandon High School, graduating this spring. 0-1 count. Caden Gould at the plate. He's 0 for 2 in the ball game. He fouls off a pitch, and that one got by and clips the umpire. Takes a bite out of him there, and he's going to need a moment. Gould, a ground out to the pitcher and a ground out to the catcher, in fact. Not going to see that too often. He hit a tapper that just barely got out of the box in front of home plate. It was fielded by Hellenthal, and Gould thought it was going to go foul, and he didn't ever leave the box. So he got tagged immediately by Hellenthal, the catcher, up out of his crouch to get to that ball quickly. And so a tag out on a ground ball out to the catcher for Caden Gould his last time up. That base hit, well, I don't know. You might be able to debate on whether or not it was a base hit for Hazen or whether it was just an error all around. There was an error on the play one way or the other, but Hazen gets on base. That snapped a streak of 9 consecutive outs retired by Jake Johnson. Sywell taking over and look to try and keep that going. Docs have been doing a good job of getting ground ball outs here in the late stages of this ball game. Jake Johnson finished his 6 innings on the mound by getting 6 consecutive ground ball outs on the infield. A man at second base, nobody out. It's an 0-2 count for Caden Gould. After the foul ball, we're back to action. Sywell on the mound, the 0-2 delivery. Comebacker up the middle. It is Avery over to first. Robbins on the bag and makes the put out. Robbins having to stretch down the line towards right field a little bit to make sure he was in position for that one. Makes the play. The runner at third. Yeah, you'd like to keep him from scoring, but more importantly, you need to get outs. So the runner at third does not necessarily mean that much with a 4-run lead here at the moment. This 4-run lead. Let's just take a look-see. This may not be a safe situation. Yeah, not a safe situation for Colton Sywell because it's a 4-run lead, but it does feel like it should be one. Just technically, it won't go down as one. Jalen Riddle, scheduled hitter, he is at the plate. Riddle is 0 for 1 in the game, walked and scored a run in the third. Doc Stewart's with 3 runs in the bottom of the 6th to build a little bit of a cushion as a swing and a miss. Strike one, and that one takes a bite out of Ty Hellenthal. So he'll get a moment. This would be a big win here for the Doc Stewarts if they can hold on to make it happen. Challengers are the defending Area 4 champions. And they won the state title a couple of years ago. It's a good program, and they're going to be one that you're going to be challenged in facing. As the ball fouled back, strike two. They're the host team for the state tournament, so they will be in the state tournament no matter what, but you also know that they'll be contending to finish as one of the top teams in Area 4. And it's going to be a competitive league this year, it feels like, so it was a good win. Docs would, when you lose one, you definitely need to get at least one more on your home field against these league opponents. Breaking ball outside, got away a moment, but the runner holds at third. Hellenthal does a good job to chase that ball down, and out at third base, Aiden Hazen decides, I'm not going anywhere. A 1-2 count against Jalen Riddle. So Docs looking to split at home against the Challengers and finish this one off here, leading 6-2. Pitch comes in a bit high. Riddle lays off. And the appeal, no, he did not go around. I would agree on that call. Sun is setting, casting some orangish shadows off in the distance here at Champion Car Wash Field in the Umpqua Basin. 2-2 pitch, grounder towards third. Chance to try and get it out at first. The throw gets by. It was a fair ball. It's going to get by again, and the runner will move up to second. A run does score. Logan Anderson's throw can't get scooped at first. So Jalen Riddle will drive in a run and ends up at second. That'll be another error, second one here in this 7th inning for the Doc Stewarts. And like I said, the runner at third didn't necessarily mean a whole lot as long as you're getting outs. And the Docs unable to get the out there. So now a runner at second base with just one out. And the Challengers, they've got the game-tying run on deck. They trail by 3. 6-3. Time called. And they called a balk. Home plate umpire called a balk against Colton Sywell, so Riddle will move up to third, and here comes Coach Savage for an explanation. This is our Southern Septic Service 7th inning. Nobody sticks their nose in Southern Septic Service's business. Get a free, no-obligation estimate today for all your septic, grease trap, and portable toilet needs. Visit SouthernSepticServiceInc.com. Pitch fouled away. Strike one for the 9-hitter Kyle Miller, who is 0 for 2 in the ballgame. So a runner at third base, that could make it a 2-run ball game. That's Jalen Riddle there. Docs would like to get at least an out if he's going to come around to score. Pickoff throw to third base. Whew. Hellenthal to his high school teammate, Logan Anderson, down at third base. That makes me nervous. I'll be honest with you. 1-1 count for Miller. Pitch outside, and a nice job by Hellenthal. We talked about it earlier, how important it can be. Is the umpire saying 1-2? I think the umpire's saying 1-2 on that one. Ball fouled off. The umpire was signaling 1-2, and he seems to still be signaling 1-2. I'm not sure. That was definitely swing and a miss. I guess there's strike three. Big strikeout for Colton Sywell. Strikeouts by Doc's Pictures brought to you by Mountain Mike's Pizza. There was a foul ball for at least strike two, so there definitely 3 strikes went across, but I was a little confused on the count there. 2 down. Big punch out against Miller for Sywell, top of the order. Strike 1 on the first pitch. At third base, still Jalen Riddle. Easton McDonald, left-handed batter, is 0 for 3 in the leadoff spot. He's got the 0-1 pitch. Swings through for strike 2. Sywell closing in, looking to try and get the Docs out of this one. They lead it 6-3. 0-2 pitch. Sywell, the righty, delivers high and away. After getting shut out 6-0 against Eugene on Monday, Docs looking to return the favor. They lead it 6-3, needing one more out here in the top of the 7th inning. The 1-2 pitch is low. Once again, this is our Southern Septic Service 7th inning. Nobody sticks their business in Southern Septic Services, sticks their nose in Southern Septic Services business. The 2-2 pitch, high and away. You can visit SouthernSepticServiceInc.com for more details on how they can help you with your septic services. 3-2 delivery here in the top of the 7th. Fouled back, challenged the hitter. McDonald couldn't quite square it up and catch up to it there. He stays alive, though. On the mound, Colton Sywell will look in. Gets the signal from Hellenthal. 3-2 pitch. And it hit him on the front elbow. Breaking ball carried a bit too far inside to the lefty, and McDonald will get on.
Next batter,
so Sywell puts runners at first and second. That brings the game-tying run to the plate. And things will get a little interesting here. Brings up Brock Johnson. Speedy. He takes strike 1. Johnson is 1 for 3 in this game. An RBI single back in the 3rd. On the corners for the challengers. The 0-1 pitch, fouled away. Strike 2. At third base, Jalen Riddle. At first base is Easton McDonald. Some good speed on the bases. Good speed at the plate. But an 0-2 count for Brock Johnson. Sywell delivers. Breaking ball, popped up, foul out of play. Good pitch there, but a nice job by the hitter, Johnson, to get the barrel on it and stay alive. Once again, a 2-strike pitch for Colton Sywell trying to close out this game. Get the Docs a win. The 0-2, fouled away. He almost had him there. Johnson stays alive by just probably a couple of laces on that baseball. Whew, just barely got a piece of it. 0-2 count as we try to finish things off here in the 7th. With 2 down, game-tying run at the plate. Sywell delivers high. Can't get the hitter to chase after that one. Doc Stewarts have led the entire way after taking a 3-0 lead after 2. Looking to close it out. The 1-2. Ooh, breaking ball just outside. Sywell will try to get it here again. Boy, he's been close. The 2-2 delivery coming up. Inside, and it almost got him. Standing his ground was Johnson. Out at first base, staying put, Easton McDonald. Count goes full with 2 outs. McDonald at first will be heading for second. He'll be moving on the pitch. At third base, Riddle, not necessarily the same situation with nobody at second. The 3-2 pitch, fouled back. We'll do it again. Well, the Doc Stewarts haven't been necessarily in a bunch of close games so far this season. Looking to try and pull off one here in a pressure situation. Sywell's 3-2. Popped up. Playable? No. Out of play in foul territory. And we will once again do the full count pitch. Again. Today's ballgame been brought to you by Dr. Lance and Randall, Family and Cosmetic Dentistry. Visit drrandall.com or call 541-378-6694. Stick around. We'll have your postgame show to wrap this one up once we go final. 3-2 pitch. Sywell trying to make it final. Challenged him in on the hands. Another foul ball. That one just off the roof of the visiting dugout for the Challengers. And this battle has gone a lengthy one. Got to be getting close to double-digit pitches on this one, if not already there. But Sywell needs just one more to finish it off. The full count pitch. 3-2. Another foul ball. And give credit to Colton Sywell here. It's been a full count pitch for a while, and he continues to throw strikes and challenge the hitter. Brock Johnson, meanwhile, on the other side, has continued to fight him off and keep the battle going. Pretty good one here between these two. The 3-2 pitch. Strike three, got him! Finishes the ball game. Sywell with the punch out. And the Doc Stewarts will get the win here, 6-3. Down looking goes Johnson. And the Doc Stewarts a winner against the Challengers here at home. They'll go to 1-1 in conference play. The Challengers will go to 1-1 as well. It's just the second loss of the season for Eugene. For Roseburg, they go back to 500 at 3-3. Big win there for the Doc Stewarts and a well-played game on both sides. The Docs will look to try and keep that momentum going as they head to the Father's Day tournament coming up this weekend. 6-3 the final score. We'll take a 2.5-minute break, and we'll come back with the postgame show here on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
To us, pizza the way it ought to be isn't just our slogan. It's our promise and our passion to give you the best dining experience and the best tasting pizza you expect. For over 40 years, we've been making pizza the way it ought to be. Handmade with the freshest and finest ingredients. Our dough is made fresh daily, and we use 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese and toppings to the edge. There's pizza, and then there's Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
Turn your home into your dream sanctuary with help from Douglas County Farmers Co-op. For over 100 years, we've carried everything you need to keep your garden and crops green and growing, including a large selection of soil mixes, composts, fertilizers, and other soil amendments. You'll also find stones, boulders, gravel, and more to add structure and diversity to your yard. Stop by or shop at DouglasCountyFarmersCoop.com.
D.R. Johnson Lumber Company, a forward-thinking family company, has been operating in the Douglas County community for over 60 years. Founded by Don R. Johnson, the man who set the tone of commitment to these local communities by providing stable, long-term employment. D.R. Johnson Lumber Company understands the significance of investing in our youth because they are the foundation of our future. That's why they're a proud supporter of Roseburg Doc Stewarts. Come watch the Docs swing some lumber with D.R. Johnson Lumber Company. Go Docs!
My wife and I moved to Oregon to raise a family, set our roots, and to have a lot of fun outdoors. We quickly realized that we needed a truck or a rig for the projects that we were doing in the backyard. When we were looking to find a place to finance our truck, we asked our patients, and everyone recommended Cascade Community Credit Union. It was so easy to work with Cascade. Everything was done via email, phone, and we didn't even need to go in. I can't wait to finish up the projects in the backyard, go on more adventures in our truck with our boys, and I look forward to working with Cascade again in the future.
Welcome you back here to Bill Gray Allegiant Stadium at Champion Car Wash Field, where we wrap things up here tonight for you as the Roseburg Dr. Stewarts will get the win on top of the visiting Eugene Challengers. Final numbers in this one. Eugene, 3 runs on 4 hits, 2 errors for the Doc Stewarts, 6 runs, 7 hits, 3 errors in the contest. The Doc Stewarts go to 3-3 on the year, now 1-1 in league play for the Challengers. They're now 8-2 overall and 1-1 in league play as well. So the Doc Stewarts, a big win to split the 2 games here at home against the Challengers in league play. And now they will have those 2 games on July 8th on the road in Eugene against the Challengers. And those will be big ones there at Swede Johnson Stadium coming up later on in the month of July. 1 run in the first inning, 2 in the second for the Doc Stewarts. An RBI single by Cal Robbins got it started. Docs would add a run on a single by Cole Collins and then a sac fly by Dane St. Clair in the second. Made it 3-0. They led the entire game. A run in the top of the third for Eugene got him on the board. That would be a run on a 2-out single by Brock Johnson that drove in the first run of the game for the Challengers. They would get 1 more run against Jake Johnson in the 4th inning. Jake almost got through that. It was an error in right field that should have been the first out of the frame. He struck out the next batter. Then Caden Gould hit a tapper at the plate, was tagged out by the catcher. And they got to Jalen Riddle, and it was almost able to get through that 4th inning and leaving a runner stranded at third. The error in right field ended up costing 3 bases. And they had a runner at third that whole inning, and they almost got through it, but a pass ball got by Ty Hellenthal behind the plate. That allowed the run to come in, and then shortly thereafter, Jalen Riddle flew out to center field for the final out. So Docs were that close to keeping it just 1 run on the board for Eugene, but they would get their second run. Made it 3-2 going to the late stages. In the bottom of the 6th, the Docs would score 3 times. All 3 runners coming in against Caden Richardson, the starting pitcher for Eugene. A walk, an error, and then a single would get the first 3 runners on base. The single by Brevin Harrison, and just got over the third baseman Jalen Riddle on a high hop on the infield. That drove in 1. A sac bunt by Ty Hellenthal would bring in another, and then a fielder's choice for Cole Collins would bring in a run as well. That stretched it to 6-2. Docs in front by 4. They would give up 1 in the 7th as Colton Sywell came in. A couple of balls hit on the infield to third base. Slow choppers to third base. Logan Anderson charging in, trying to make the plays from third, but his throws to first were low, and they would skip by Cal Robbins both times. That allowed runners to get on base and move around. It did end up bringing in 1 run for Eugene, but that's all they would muster in the 7th inning as they would fall short 6-3 here tonight. Jake Johnson, a great start, goes 6 innings. He gets the win. He gives up 2 runs on 3 hits, 3 walks, and 2 strikeouts. Colton Sywell pitches the 7th inning, not a save situation. So he gives up 1 run on 1 hit in the 1 inning work, no walks and 2 strikeouts. He did hit 1 batter. Caden Richardson takes the loss. He pitched 5 innings, gave up 6 runs on 7 hits, 2 walks, 1 strikeout, 1 hit batter. Colin Hernandez pitched the 6th inning in relief. He came in that 6th inning with runners on base. He doesn't give up a hit, no runs credited to him, no walks, no strikeouts in that 1 inning of work against the Doc Stewarts. Today's game has been brought to you by Barnes Heating and Cooling, your complete energy company. Visit barnesheatingandcooling.com or call them at 541-459-1545. So the Doc Stewarts get the win. Taking a look at offensive numbers here real quick for Eugene. Brock Johnson goes 1 for 4 with a RBI. Peyton Tyner was 1 for 2 in the game with a walk and a single. Eli Christ 1 for 3 with a single. Grady Saunders got on base with an error and scored a run, but did not have a hit. He also had a walk in there. Aiden Hazen goes 1 for 3 with a single and scored a run. Caden Gould 0 for 3 in the 7th spot. Jalen Riddle got on base with a walk, scored a run. He did have an RBI, too, on an infield hit. Well, it wasn't a hit. It ended up being an error, but he did drive in a run with that ball in play. And that does it for the Challengers in this one. On the other side, for the Docs, Cole Collins in the leadoff spot, very productive. Gets on base 3 out of the 4 plate appearances. His walk in the first inning resulted in a run. He also had a single that drove in a run and had a fielder's choice in the 6th. So he goes 1 for 3 with 2 RBIs and a run scored. Dane St. Clair is 0 for 3 but had a sac fly to drive in a run. Let's see here. Cal Robbins 1 for 3 with an RBI single. Daniel Withers got on base, hit by a pitch and a walk. He goes 0 for 1 in the game, scores a run. Evan Martin got on with an error, scores a run. Brevin Harrison goes 2 for 3. He's been hitting well out of the 7th spot. And he drives in a run in there as well and scores a run. Ty Hellenthal goes 2 for 2 in the game with a sac bunt for an RBI and scores a run, had a stolen base. Logan Anderson 1 for 3 in this one as well. So all around, Docs up and down the lineup did pretty good getting the ball in play and getting on base. And that is going to do it for us here tonight. I think that is the full recap. Coming up tomorrow, it is the start of the Father's Day tournament here in Roseburg. You've got 6 teams total that will be in that one. Mid-Valley Southpaws, Klamath Falls Falcons, Corvallis Market Men, the Medford Mustangs, Salem Whitnell Dodgers, and the host team, the Roseburg Dr. Stewarts, all going to be in that tournament starting tomorrow afternoon at 3:15 with Mid-Valley and Klamath Falls. Docs will play the late game on Friday and Saturday, plus they play the early game on Saturday as well. So a lot of baseball action coming up Friday, Saturday, and then again on Sunday as that tournament is running through the weekend. So we hope you can come out and join us for a little bit of baseball here over Father's Day weekend at the ballpark. Doc Stewart's 3-3 on the season, 1-1 in conference play. Eugene 8-2 on the year, and now 1-1 in Area 4 play as well. Up next for the Challengers, they are hosting the Post 58 Crushers coming up on Saturday at noon from Sweet Johnson Stadium. All right, folks, that's going to wrap it up for us here from Bill Gray Legion Stadium at Champion Car Wash Field. Want to thank the Eugene Challengers for making the trek down here. Well-played game, a lot of fun here tonight. Safe travels back home. Want to say thanks to head coach Eric Savage, the Doc Stewart's American Legion Baseball program, for allowing us to bring you another season of Doc Stewart's Baseball here on The Score. Want to say thanks to American Legion Post 16 as well for all of the efforts that they put into this program. Back in the studio, thanks to Braden Studebaker for the radio production here tonight. And as always, a thanks to you, the fan, for tuning in for tonight's broadcast, because, of course, without you, I'm just a guy sitting here talking to myself. I'm Joey Keyran. We'll catch up with you tomorrow when the Doc Stewarts take on the Salem Whitnell Dodgers. First pitch scheduled for 7:45. That means pregame at 7:30. We'll have the action for you right here on our video stream at 541radio.com and on YouTube. You can find it at 1490 The Score there on YouTube. It's presented by the Cow Creek Tribe. Or tune in for Doc Stewart's Baseball all season long right here on Douglas County's home for sports, The Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.